Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living by the Law, the podcast discussing fictional worlds and how wondrous and ridiculous they are. My name is Matt, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jude and Guy.
Living by the Law is not currently sponsored. If you wish to sponsor us, graduate high school. Look around for some new interests and stumble upon your uncle's camera. Get invested into photography until your aunt mentions you could make some money out of this. Become a photographer and come work for us, because we need photos of Spider-Man. If they're on our desk before 12, we will hear you. We always do. Black, white, and glossy all over. We're talking about Venom. Or more broadly, Marvel's amorphous multicellular organism made of inorganic material we call symbiotes. Today, we answer what the hell is Venom? What can it do? And wait, there's more?
Okay, but like, what other trait is the most annoying for you in a person?
If I met a person and they did this, I'd be annoyed.
Yeah, like maybe a little bit of a deal breaker. Like you've met someone, maybe not for the first time, but they're still pretty new. Whether it be like friendly or something else, whatever. If this thing happens or if they do this thing, it's like nah, I'm good.
I'm trying to think. Like I don't know about small things. Maybe it's kind of stuff that you don't really notice, but it's always in your brain. I think the one that I would notice is just being rude to people. Just not being courteous to like wait staff and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's like basic respect. I mean,
that's basic.
Work.
Hey guy, my bar is on the fucking floor. I'll be honest. I have no expectations. My bar's on the ground. I want you to have basic human decency, and
I respect that. I
get that.
I will say my kind of number one peeve is like hypocritical or like extremely like I'm better than you. You need to learn. You eat bread that's going to kill you. It's like shut the fuck up. I know that's the point.
Shit, there's a word for that and I can't think of it. Being holy shit.
Superior.
Yeah, superior, but there's a word for that.
Egotistical, perhaps. Any of those
condescending.
Hang on a minute.
Hypocritical and egotistical. Because hey, game recognized game. I can't deal with someone else trying to steal my spotlight.
Yeah, we're just describing you, Jude. Don't worry about
it. Yeah. No, I agree
Jude,
with those.
What on earth would be yours, Jude?
Jude's wanting someone being better than him.
You've made me think about this way too much and way deeper. I was just thinking like when people eat with their mouth open. That's
also like that's again not acceptable.
See, I don't notice those things. I do so many small things that I'm sure annoy people that those kind of things I'm like I can forgive. I can live and let go.
Nah.
I respect that. Small things.
Because I totally agree. My least favorite sort of person is like when they can't let you have anything. Like, by all means, people have different things that they're good at, but when you, like, try to mention anything of yours and they just find some weird, obtuse way that it just feels like they're trying to one-up you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
you're too nice and too much of a champion of other people, guys.
I
like
talking about myself, though.
You like talking about yourself, but
I think it's a thing. I'm not going to excuse everything because it's ADHD, but I think it's a thing where like when you don't know how to relate to a conversation, you just you tell a story that you had that was similar. You know what I mean?
Fair.
I often do that, and then I realize, oh shit, I didn't like address their story. I just started the story of my own.
Yeah, that's fair. What's my number one pet peeve though is I'm out. I have pet peeves but they're mostly the things that come to mind are the things that I am annoyed about in my current relationship more than anything else. And that's just like Gemma, my partner, does not know what a lid is. She will not close things. She will not put lids back on things. And it's not the worst because it's just sitting there. Like I can just put it back on top, but it's her stuff. It's like her moisturizer or whatever. But I'm just like I walk into the bathroom, I see the moisturizer open, I close the moisturizer. I wake up the next morning, the moisturizer's open, I close the moisturizer. I feel like I'm in purgatory.
Is it like fridge items as well?
Not really. Yeah. No, nothing perishable. Like, nothing that's going to die.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just
that's
stuff
the worst
like,
part.
Oh, no, not food. She's not wasting food. It's just, like, the drawer's left slightly open or, like, a lid is left off a thing, and it's like, I'm annoyed by that because everything needs to be closed and sealed and tidy, despite the fact that I make much mess.
When I used to live with my parents, they used to leave the microwave open and the light was on and the door was open.
What?
Just I think originally they were doing it to air it out, but also like...
What do you mean air it out?
I don't know. Okay. And it annoyed me to the hell. I used to like get up and walk across the room to close the microwave. And they never learned.
Hold on. Can you microwave air? Is that a way to make a heater in my house? Do I run the microwave for 3 minutes, open it up, let the hot air out, close it again?
It's a very bad way to heat your house in winter.
I feel like it's possible. I don't feel like it's effective, but I feel like it's possible.
But you can't run the microwave with the door open. Are you running it?
No. I'm not running it with no. I'm running it for 3 minutes, opening the door, letting the air out, circulating it through, closing the door. 3 minutes. Run it again.
Yeah, it's on repeat.
On repeat.
Why?
Just. I'll be honest.
I feel
having just paid a power bill last night, this is like making me lose brain cells.
You know what? You know what? My biggest thing I did think about. I did think of something. When people leave your house and there's just a mess, and they didn't like help you clean up, so you hosted, and then you go like, oh, thanks for guys for helping me clean up. But then they leave and you turn around and there's like fucking mess everywhere, which happens sometimes after D&D. Yeah. And people would leave their takeaway package guy in the drawers on my little table, and I didn't find them for weeks sometimes, and they were not good after weeks.
That was a trap. That was
there is.
Are you testing me, guy?
That was malicious. That was for the rat.
For the rat, yeah.
Leave the rat out of us. Leave the mouse out.
There is a criminal who I won't name live on air, but I don't know what it is. Whenever we finish D&D, you wouldn't expect them to be a messier person, but there is just always loads of shit under their chair. And I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes it's like, I think yesterday there was just like crap loads of little bits of fabric left under there. I don't know.
That's not me. I know
it's
who
not,
that
no,
is.
No, it's not. It's not you. It's not you. I said.
I think we know who it is.
I know who that is. I know who that is. My girlfriend's taking up recreational sewing.
It's not just sewing. There's just every session there just seems to be something little bits under there. I don't know what it is. I need to start investigating what the fragments are because I can't even tell where they are a lot of the time.
You take like photos and like put them up on a screen.
I need to do like a sample analysis to investigate what the fibers are.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Talking about
mystery material.
Talking about mystery material. That's a great one. The living abyss, the darkness between universes, the nothingness of existence. Last time we talked about Null, the god between universes, the god of the abyss.
Sorry, I love this podcast. We pivot so hard.
And today we talk about mystery. Today we talk about mystery substance called the symbiotes, who are by definition mystery substances.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So,
I mean, we're all mystery substance.
I know what I am. What are you?
Meat, and I don't know what the brain. What's the brain?
What's
he made out of?
More meat.
Yeah, but what's consciousness made out of? Never mind. Continue.
Big questions.
Me, I am a mystery material. I'm electricity.
On the note of mystery substance, to our Patreons that are watching the video, what is this drink?
What is that drink?
Find out in the comments below, and the first one to get it right, I'll say well done.
This also applies to YouTube as well when it comes to YouTube.
We are selling Patreon so hard. This is brilliant.
Thank you for ruining my my seamless transition, Jude. But
I had a thing
last time.
Yep.
What do you guys remember from last time? It's not very relevant, but what do you guys remember?
So
8 different universes.
7 well, we were up to the 7th, but there was going to be an 8th one.
Yeah, it depends, but yeah.
Null
we'll go
spawned
7.
in the 6th one between the quiet and then the gods were like,
He spawned
hey.
at the end of it and the beginning of the next one.
Yeah.
And then he like survived the journey, and the gods were like, hey, have a job. And he went, hey, I don't want a job. And they went,
Hey, I want
"But
to
why?"
murder you. I want to
And
kill you.
then he made the necro sword that will eventually get used in that really epic movie Thor: Love and Thunder. But Null made
there's
the
a lot-
necro sword in his
You could just mention the comics, which is way better.
Necroforge? Astroforge?
Celestial Forge.
Celestial Forge. That's
It's made
the
of a
one.
celestial's head.
Yeah, that's right. Because he cut the he cut the head off of the celestial that may or may not be the head that the Guardians live in, depending on what version you believe. And then he made a forge. And then he made the cool sword. And then he made like creepy monster things and the symbiotes.
I'm glad you mentioned those because that's what we're going to talk about today. Anything else you'd like to add, Guy?
No, I think that's it. Oh, and there's also a planet that's full of something that he got
Symbiotes.
abandoned to that's
God
in
of-
the nowhere.
The planet of symbiotes, Clintar, which also means cage.
That was it. Of course, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Clipper,
weird.
I remember it.
Yeah, Clipper. Yeah.
So today we'll be talking about these
Because no one can
symbiotes.
ever find it.
Yeah, Clitner, exactly. It's such a... Fuck me.
Yeah, the Clintar is a cage, you know.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, real.
What is
Please.
pleasure but a cage? You know what I mean?
Please pivot, my god. We need to pivot.
Nothing like 3 men talking about the Clintar. So Marvel Comics, everyone.
Let's go.
Again, like everyone knows what Marvel Comics is, but again, it's Marvel Comics or worldwide is American publication of comic books and related media. Marvel's parent company is Marvel Entertainment, which is owned by Disney, and they own like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Sony movies, which is all the Venom stuff, which is Null and all stuff like that, is not owned by Disney. That's owned by Sony. That's because when Marvel was in a very bad spot, they sold all the rights to a bunch of different companies, and Disney's been slowly gobbling them up over the years to try and, like the Fantastic Four, they bought Fox and the X-Men. They bought that.
They've done
together.
so much with that. They've been really, really good with that.
Yeah, they have. They've done so
material.
much.
We'll see. Hopefully they do something. Let's see if they get off the ground. But yeah, so Marvel's been around for a while, but it's still going today. The origins of this kind of stuff has been around since the original Secret Wars. But again, especially the last few years, it's been expanded hugely. Null was introduced only recently in the grand terms of Marvel Comics, and the symbiotes, especially Venom, has been retconned more times than I can count.
Oh.
He's one of the number one retconned things of Marvel Comics. Because often they'll just be like, oh yeah, he forgot. Like, he had a memory erasure. He had a bunch of shit happen before this. Or oh, this was actually him. Like the Gore, the Gore's Necrosword was a symbiote. That wasn't originally a symbiote. And it wasn't originally Null who got knocked unconscious and stole it from him. But they made it that because then it's cool and connected, you know?
That's fun.
Anyway.
Connection. Yeah.
So, we talked about Null, and we talked about he made all the symbiotes in the Celestial Forge, but the big question is, what the fuck is a symbiote? Big Venom boy. What the fuck is that, you know?
What is a symbiote?
What is a symbiote, Matt?
What's a symbol?
What's an oat? You know what I mean?
What's an oat? Where's the oats at? I'm awesome.
All my oats in the chat, you know?
I'd be horse streaming over here. Where my oats? Oats in the chat, boys.
Oats.
Oh my god, that's a good idea. That's stupid.
What?
Symbiotes, or the children of Null, are a species of inorganic, amorphous aliens created in a celestial forge out of the living abyss. While he was perfecting his creations, his experiments are what they are called proto-symbiotes, which include the all-black Necrosword, the symbiote dragons, Mr. E, and the Void Knight. There's a bunch of them that are kind of related to the other symbiotes, but they were the early made. They were like rough copies.
Mr. E.
You look at Mr. E. It's
Why
not
does he look like a
Markiplier.
fucking hobo? Jesus.
He's like half made, poor guy.
Oh no, sorry, I'm on the Mr. E page from Scoobypedia. The Scooby
Same.
Never
was the first
mind.
one that comes
Wrong
up.
one.
Yeah, Misty, he looks like a big shadow.
Oh, he's
duck.
much worse. He's much worse.
Yeah, he looks like Slender Man.
I see it now. I see it now.
Yeah, that just is the Slender Man. I don't care.
Yeah, he's a bit scary.
Incredible.
Anyway.
Continue.
Eventually, he kind of perfected his art and got better at making these symbiotes, and he created the symbiotes we know today, including Venom. And Venom is the 998th in his line of symbiotes.
Damn.
All the symbiotes are connected to Null through a telepathic hive mind, as we kind of talked about, and he uses this to basically wage war on existence. So, the biology of a symbiote. Symbiotes are amorphous, multicellular organisms made from inorganic material. They're basically a bunch of goo, all with one kind of mind, but each cell is kind of its own brain in that sense. So they're all, once they're together, they all create one kind of mind, and then that connects to other minds, but every part of it has its own control.
So the symbiote is a hive mind in a hive mind.
Yes.
Excellent.
Symbiotes are pretty weak in their organic form, but they basically attach onto a host and bond with them properly to properly manifest. And this basically creates like a, what do they call it? Like two halves make a better whole. Like the whole is better than the two halves separated. It's a more powerful being than both the other beings. Symbiotes are weak to both sonic waves and fire, though they have been known to gain resistance to that over repeated exposure. This is originally it was just part of Venom, but then it was kind of found out or retconned, depending on how you want to say it, that this comes from being forged in a celestial forge. So the banging of the hammer and the flame of the forge, it's like in their genetic, because you'll find that they have genetic memory. So they have that genetic memory of being like forged and crafted into this thing.
Nice. Of course, yeah. Nice.
I think it's kind of I think it's kind of a unique way to give this thing that did have these two weaknesses and making it a real thing.
No, I get it. It's just kind of funny. It's just like, yeah, that's why I'm weak to fire. I was the heat of my passion from my conception. I don't fucking know, man.
The passion from your conception.
Hush, hush. We speak not of the words that I say. I say nothing. This is temporary.
It was
the
a
universe
warm
is temporary.
summer night in the year 2000.
We will return to ash one day. All these words will be reduced to nothing. The internet will not exist.
Can I? That's a good way to justify anything.
Exactly.
But like, Null didn't fuck the forge and then Venom jumped out. Like,
Yeah, but
Null
like,
pulled.
it's still.
Null pulled like living the abyss into his forge and crafted him. You know, like he banged this thing into existence.
He banged it, did he?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he banged it. Yeah, he
Yeah,
banged
absolutely.
it real good. Uh-huh.
Shut
Absolutely,
up.
Chief.
Well, at least his ancestor, at least. Anyway, so symbiotes have many unique powers depending on their own physiology. Some different symbiotes usually have their own thing they do, and they will gain powers as they go on. Symbiotes also tend to adapt to their host, using access to their minds to influence them. The longer they're bonded, or the strength of the personality, the more the influence. So the longer it seeps into your brain, basically, the more control it'll have over your thoughts and your emotions. And depending on the symbiote, some symbiotes can control more. Some symbiotes work in a partnership. It just depends which like personality you've got.
Interesting. Because I feel like in recent movies we've seen Venom be both of these.
Yeah, so Venom in the Venom movies is very much more of a anti-hero
Yeah.
and a partner, whereas and that is a lot more what he's in the comics after, like more recently. But he originally started as just a force. It's kind of like the devil on your shoulder telling you all your dark thoughts are your best.
He was just a villain for Spider-Man to fight, basically.
He was, yeah. He was supposed to be like the dark. Like I mean, originally OG, it was literally just a new suit for Spider-Man.
Yeah, literally.
And then they're like, then they had like some backlash, so he got rid of the suit, and then they turned into like some people like the suit, so they kind of brought it back and had like this whole thing about the suit. It's kind of cool, and it created Venom.
I know this is kind of questioning like the essential building blocks of the thing, but like, why do symbiotes need a host? Because most of the time they're not like, the guy who Venom is on is not the reason he's dangerous. He's just there.
We will get to that. That is a very good. You will get to that. It comes about what I said before about once they have a host, they get more of a form and they become stronger with a form, and also we'll get to it. They kind of feed off their form.
Okay, happy with that answer. Good for it. Go for it.
I saw a thing that if you look at Tom Hardy from the first Venom movie and look at Tom Hardy in the third Venom movie, because it's been like quite a few years in real life, he looks fucking shit between them. But in world it's been a year. In world it's been 1 year, and he looks like shit.
That was one of the best posts that I saw about the Venom movie, was just like, Tom Hardy started the movie looking like shit, and you always expect a superhero movie to have like a shirt off, suddenly looking great moment. Tom Hardy just looked shit the whole movie.
I'm going to respect that. That's one of the parts I like about the Venom movies.
Absolutely respect the hustle, absolutely.
I do like Tom Hardy.
He has some good roles. He definitely has some good roles.
I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad role, actually.
I think he's been in bad movies. I don't know if he's had bad roles.
Maybe, I don't know about bad movies. Maybe like not incredible. Like I wouldn't say the Venom movies are incredible movies.
Non-goated.
I wouldn't say they're bad. Yeah, they're very mediocre movies, I guess.
Yeah. That's a great way to put them. In Sony's books, they're great movies.
Yeah, they're great by Sony standards.
I'm so ready for oh my god, I've forgotten the
Kraven
name
the
of it.
Hunter.
Yes, Kraven the Hunter. Oh, buddy boy. And then we're gonna get Kraven, we're gonna get Morbius, we're gonna get fucking Madam Web, and we're gonna fight Null together. All of them in one.
What?
Imagine you get the Sonyverse together.
Oh my god, Madam Web 3.
Jesus.
Just throw them in, Just throw them in Null.
Just jam it in. Whatever we've got, whatever people will click on. The weirder we can make it, the more people will go see it, just to see it.
Literally. Oh my god. And
I would watch that over watching Spider-Man fight Null, I'll be honest.
I want to convince them to do a
Just random
Morbius
guys.
release. That's just my life goal.
Yeah.
Another Morbius release.
Another Morbius release. I think they do it again. I think 3 times the charm.
I'll watch it this time, Sony. Trust me.
I promise, Sony, I'll watch Morbius.
Can I be real? I think I actually probably would if they released it in the
I think they're like, please come watch it. Like, if that was the poster, I think we could make time for
If
it.
it said Morbius, please come watch it. Yeah. Oh god.
It's just
Anyway.
Jared Leto of like a big Puss in Boots face. Like.
Okay, so as we just talked about, symbiotes adapt to their host. Symbiotes also grow and develop over time, becoming more powerful and resistant to their weaknesses, such as sound and heat. They also will get more powerful depending on the different hosts they get to, as we'll talk about in a bit. Also, kind of like the ability of the idea of adapt to survive, or taking a poison every day. You know that all those supervillains. I drink a small bit of that poison every day, and now I'm immune to it.
Yeah.
In the old Bond villains. So that it's kind of like that. If they get enough exposure,
the poison
to fire,
was in both of our drinks, Bond. Yeah.
Nah. Symbiotes are also natural predators, often hunting other species they crave to eat. This is especially prevalent in these symbiotes that have gone corrupted or feral, which means disconnected from the hive mind. So they're basically used by Null as a source of a destructive force. So they will go to a planet and just like eradicate everyone there.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I mean that's if they're doing the Null's mission. Remember, Null's mission was like just wipe out existence,
Destroy everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not great vibes. Yeah.
Sorry, this could be just to throw maybe a curveball at you out of nowhere.
I got my mid up. I'm ready to catch.
Yep, and feel free to tell me to just like leave it if it's completely disconnected. In that movie that we'll all remember, The Eternals, we are presented with the Celestials wanting to wipe out people and wipe out all planets.
That's not what they said, but sure. Keep going.
Isn't it? I thought they were trying to...
No, they wanted to make a new Celestial, and it uses life
Oh,
force.
Earth
to
just happened to be one. That's
Earth
right.
just happened to be an egg for a celestial. So what they wanted to do was send. Basically, they were sending the Eternals to encourage humans to breed. To make once there was enough life force on the planet, it would be absorbed by the celestial, and then it would be birthed.
Yeah, I remember now. You're right.
Thank you.
Continue.
To be fair, in the comics, they're not like that. They're more so. They're basically in the comics. We're going to go a bit. This is a very big offshoot. In the comics, the Eternals are not robots they made, like in the movies. And the Eternals are a subspecies. They came to Earth basically when humans were like Neanderthals, kind of like Homo sapien, very like unevolved. And they basically went, let's do an experiment, because they're very much the evolution guys. Let's do an experiment. Let's adapt. Remember when in the first universe they wanted to like see how their changes would have the effect of evolution?
Okay, yeah.
So basically, they made three species. They made the deviants, they made the humans, and they made the Eternals. Yeah. And the humans would live on Earth and evolve, and they would naturally get their X gene eventually, and they would get their evolutions, mutations. The Eternals were basically like the peak of evolution already. They basically went, you guys are peak evolution already, and they put them on Titan, which is also happens to be where Thanos is an Eternal technically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sure.
Anyway, and the deviants were basically saying, you can be underground. Go underground. We don't like you. And so and then the Celestials would then come back to Earth and go judge after a number of years, and they'd go like, is this Earth worth existing? And that's the point. That's why they have like one Celestial is called, I can't remember his name, like the Judge, and their job is to come and like judge if this evolution went okay for them to exist.
Interesting.
That's usually what they do. They go and seed life, and then they judge if their life was good or not.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, fair.
There's a bunch of cool comics where they go to each like a lot of important characters when there was a big celestial judging Earth, and they were like, "Why is this character worthy?" And they're like judging if they were worthy or not. And then they were going to even it out. I think if most of the planet was worthy, they would be worthy or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And there's one
Earth would stand a very good chance these days.
On net, you guys seem all right. You guys seem fine.
There was one where they're like, Dr. Doom, do I judge you worthy? And Dr. Doom scoffed and walked away. And Dr. Doom judges himself worthy.
Excellent. Goated.
I thought it would be Dr. Doom doesn't judge you worthy.
Anyway, back to the symbiotes.
Yep.
So, what was the point of going on to the Eternals and grind?
I was just trying to, because you were talking about Null wanting to wipe out everything.
Fair enough. No, they seed life. That's why they're very. They seed life. Anyway,
yeah, they do.
They're not fucking planets.
Their seeds planted deep within the planet, and it requires more life force to grow and nurture.
Moving on to the host, a very key part to the symbiotes. So a symbiote that is a host that the symbiote attaches to. Sorry, I did write this in this very well. Itself is often made stronger than two parts. They're forming into strong, as I said. It takes 48 hours to fully bond to a host. This is like fully in their brain. They've got the full host. It's actually depending on the symbiote, it'll either mix into your spinal cord or your blood. That's it. It's not just a suit you wear. It's really it's in there.
It's in there.
No, don't touch my spine.
Oh, yeah. It's in you. It's real. Like if you think about it, it's all in your holes and all that kind of thing. If you think about
all in your holes. That's that's a quote of all time.
Yeah, it's in my holes. Yeah, sure. What the fuck?
Often hosts are often intelligent creatures, but they do not have to be. Again, it's Marvel Comics. They're often humans, but they're not always. Symbiotes can also bond to inorganic material, as we've seen symbiotes attached to spaceships or an Iron Man suit. I think it was War Machine in particular.
What the fuck? Okay.
And they can control that shit or that technology.
Okay.
Yeah. Often it is the symbiote and the host can have very different interactions. Often. Many different relationships, sorry. Often it's a mix between the two of like who has control, who has dominance. both influencing each other, and like a symbiote could change its personality depending if its host. So if its host was really like a good heart, and they really are really noble, not nobility, they might change, and the symbiote slowly over time thinks about, maybe I shouldn't eat this man's head. Why am I doing this? So that's something that happens. But also the other way, if a symbiote's like, I want to eat people, I want to kill people, and then the person goes, yeah, let's fucking kill people sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Let's do a little killing, perhaps.
Let's do a little killing. The thoughts kind of get mixed in there. They share emotions, and
to him. I just want to talk to him.
they can share emotions, desires, but they can also oppose each other. That often happens when you see like Spider-Man when he's trying to get rid of the Venom thing. They're very conflicting emotions. To throw off one can throw off a symbiote and debond from one, but that takes a very strong will and a lot of effort to do so. And I believe the symbiote can
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the symbiote can detach if it wants to. Often it comes through like they blast it with like a sonic wave, and then you like pull it off.
Yeah,
like the bell tower scene in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Simple and easy.
Yeah.
Rings bell, rips with superhuman strength.
Just that easy. 1-2 step.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, like, I guess the movie is a little bit different and not maybe accurate to the comics. If it was bonded to his blood or spine, there's no way he's pulling that thing off of him without just killing himself.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess when you try and like pull it off, you'll get most of it off, and that's like enough. You got to get enough of it off, you know.
There's
But
still some
also,
bugs in there.
as we'll come to, even if when you debond properly, they always leave a little bit of them inside you.
No,
Oh,
yeah. My body's a home for bugs. What the fuck?
It's literally the next sentence. Even after disconnected from a symbiote, a small piece of the living abyss is left inside the host's spinal cord. This is also called the codex.
My spinal cord, no.
The purpose of this is to share information about the host with the rest of the hive. This goes both ways, however, and can allow previous hosts to track down the symbiote. They have like a psychic connection to the symbiote that will last. Like there was times where they'll be like, I want to find Venom again, and then he like can feel where Venom is and go and track him down. The dormant part can also be reactivated by other symbiotes, taking the host and going, "Ooh, a little part someone else is here. I'll take that." And they can take the powers of them or take the memory, and they can also be activated by other strong life energies. But that only happens. That's very rare. We're not getting into those. What is it? Edge cases.
Extreme healing magic. Is that so that
There was like a life force power that did it. I think I can't remember. They like made a new symbiote from the remnants of another symbiote. We'll talk. Actually, there is one particular that we'll talk about later that did that. So
okay,
that's a good example of it. Yeah, if other symbiotes gain traces of them, they can gain the powers and the memories of the other symbiote and their hosts. The longer someone is bonded, the deeper the connection they share. This is emotional, physical, and power-wise. Many symbiotes can interface with the host genome and then, therefore, grant the powers of the hosts. Grant powers to their new host of past hosts. Mm-hmm. For example, Venom now always has the powers of Spider-Man because Venom attached to Spider-Man for over 48 hours. So because they are fully connected, Venom basically copied the powers of Spider-Man, and now he'll have the powers of Spider-Man.
What's the most powerful power that a symbiote has absorbed?
I don't know all of them, and it's probably one of the areas I actually don't know a lot about. I think there's like ones where like they were like there's powers of like the Darkhold. I don't know if you've seen Multiverse of Madness or like stuff like that. There's like the god that gives Scarlet Witch her power has gone to Carnage, I think. Stuff like that.
We saw Multiverse of Madness together, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, bro's forgotten.
I do remember that, but it's way funnier to just ask if you remember it.
To be fair, it's also very fair that you wouldn't remember, Guy.
Hey, Guy, have you seen any movie at all? Any movie ever?
When?
Yeah. That's right.
I've watched Psych. Psych's good. I'm up to season 4 of Psych. It's a TV show from 2004.
Nice.
I'm glad that's what your priorities are.
It's good. It's a good show.
I'm 3 episodes into One Piece. Wish me luck.
Only 3 episodes.
You started talking about this like a week
One Piece,
ago.
or-
No, the big one. The anime.
Incredible.
Feeding.
You heard it here first, folks. Living by the Law, One Piece episode coming to you.
No, coming in
2037.
2027. Oh.
2037. Just give me time.
Give him a bit of time. Let him cook.
Feeding. While some symbiotes drain the host fluids, killing them, most hosts most symbiotes keep their host alive for repeated feeding. So yeah, some of the symbiotes, often I think usually the inorganic ones made in a lab on Earth, are usually the ones that just suck their people dry. You know, bye blood, and then they just move on to the next human. Very like vampire like. Symbiotes feed off their host adrenaline, wanting their host to create as much as possible. So they basically, I think that's often why their symbiote, they will drive big emotions and also put their host in danger. Because when you make adrenaline in fight or flight responses, right?
It's so fucking funny.
So they want to eat their adrenaline, so they put you in a bad situation.
Oh my god, sorry. There's just so many goofy ass shit you could do with that. But no, absolutely. Throw them off a building.
Or like make them fight someone, you know?
Yeah.
Raises anger.
The goofy shit I was thinking is like you wake up from like being held by Venom, like, oh, what the fuck? And like you're crushed in front of you. Like, you said what to my mom? What are you talking? And it's like, oh. Oh no.
No, you've ruined my crush. Oh. That would be the worst situation, you know. Kill a man. I can sleep at night. Embarrass myself in front of my crush. I'm never sleeping again. You know what I mean?
That's what I say all the time. That's what I say constantly. How? Oh my god.
It's just how life works, you know. Anyway, feeding. So symbiotes don't only feed on adrenaline. Symbiotes also feed on now hold on, this is the big word, so give me time. And everything I looked up to pronounce this didn't pronounce this right. So phenethylamine.
Oh, phenethylamine.
Phenethylamine. You've heard of that?
I have.
Great. I pronounced it right then. Perfect. Which is it's a neurotransmitter in the brain that releases dopamine.
I feel like this is a thing that I heard in like year 12 biology. Continue.
I'm on point then. It's probably something to do with like antidepressants as well. Anyway, this is often why the symbiotes crave to feed on people's brains or creatures' brains and they'll eat the heads because that's where the dopamine and the theranethylamine was created. However, it is fun fact, the chemical is also found in chocolate. So I think that's something that I don't know if that's done in the Venom movies, but it should be if it's not.
That'd be pretty funny. Venom just goes, chocolate.
Eddie, give me chocolate. Eddie, I want chocolate. feed me Cadbury.
I forget they give Venom a very interesting voice in the movie, don't they? Actually,
it's Eddie. You know, it's Tom Hardy, right? Yeah. Okay.
It's just Tom Hardy doing a different voice, but
it's just Tom Hardy.
It's still a choice to give him that voice.
Man,
sorry, you get a fucking Venom in you, and it's like a real gentle one. It's like, go for a walk, take care of yourself, do the washing. You'll feel better.
Eddie, Eddie, get out of bed, Eddie. Come on. Look, big day today. Let's go for a run together, Eddie. Come on.
Go to bed at a reasonable time.
Eddie, off the computer
you're
now,
not going to produce any dopamine sitting in bed all day. Eddie,
you're starving me.
Eddie, 5Ks now. Eddie.
5Ks now, Eddie. Oh, Jesus.
You know what? If I had a symbiote like that, that'd be great. That'd be fucking amazing.
It just nags you all day. Why
Eddie.
is this your 6th game of League of Legends, Eddie? Get off the computer.
Don't add
Eddie,
any fucking...
why have you been scrolling reels for 3 hours, Eddie? It's 2 a.m. Go to bed.
Eddie, you clicked find match, but there's no dopamine, Eddie. Eddie, where do you think this leads?
Eddie. I mean, to be fair, actually, Venom does gamble in The Last Dance.
Gambling.
He gambles, and he can't stop gambling, and then he runs out of money and says, "We need to acquire more money."
It's very
I
funny.
can't stop gambling. Venom
It's well
edition.
known that it's known that there's been studies done that whether you win or lose gambling, it activates the same dopamine response.
Yeah.
So that makes sense for that to be gambling to be in the movie.
So what I keep telling you about nat 1s and nat 20s in D&D, man. It's the same result.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Also, while connected to a symbiote, the host's dopamine levels will be raised on average.
Oh, excellent.
At
least I'm having a good time.
One protection against being bonded, being a symbiote bonding to you is vitamin C, as symbiotes cannot bond with hosts with high levels of vitamin C.
Well, I'll be fine then.
Yeah, take your vitamins, kids.
I'm so
Take your
fucked.
vitamins.
I'm so fucked. I got scurvy.
No, you've got to eat your oranges.
No oranges for me. No citrus unless it's in the form of a fresh, cold solo can.
I have never seen you. I can't remember the last time I've seen you eat a citrus fruit that's not a solo.
Okay, yeah. I mean, true. When would I eat an orange in front of you? We don't know each other like that.
You're not on that level. That's fair. Just fair, you know. I wish you would. I wish you could feel comfortable eating an orange in front of me.
One day, maybe.
I've seen you
Not
eat
since
an
the
apple.
accident.
It's the terrible orange accident of 87.
Yeah. To be fair, Matt did make quite a mess that day. I wouldn't feel comfortable eating an
Most
orange in front of
days.
him again either.
So the hive mind. The host's mental connection gives them a sort of psychic powers and links. This links them to other symbiotes and hosts, and even allows them to connect to past hosts' thoughts and can physically yell for help to like the other symbiotes. Symbiotes also have a genetic memory, as we kind of talked about a little bit before, giving access to memories of their ancestors, as well as like this psychic bond. It also gives them all the powers of their ancestors. This brings us perfectly into breeding. Breeding
Excellent.
symbiotes, baby.
Excellent. Tell me
So,
more.
How do you get a new symbiote? What do you think, boys? Give me.
Well, you take him to the forge, and then you pound that thing with love, passion, and hammers, and a baby symbiote comes along.
I got two answers for you, Chief. I got two answers for you. Number one, get some smooth jazz, get two symbiotes, put them together, let the magic happen. I'd say number one. Number two, it's like a worm. You cut it in half, there's two symbiotes now.
Well, the second is closer.
Yeah!
I much prefer the smooth jazz option.
So symbiotes have no concept of sex, gender, or reproduce asexually. By the way, I often refer to symbiotes as he, often because they have a male host, and it does it a lot on the wiki. There's some that refers to as it. I don't know the correct pronoun, but I'm just using he because I wrote the whole script and realized this, and I was like, I'm not going back to remove it.
That's fair.
But yes, they don't really have a concept of gender, to be fair. So probably should be it. To be completely correct.
But
So,
it's very crazy to think that Marvel might only use a male pronoun for a character. That'd be crazy, man.
Especially from a character that's been around for a while.
That wouldn't, in Marvel, no way.
Anyway, so some symbiotes have been known to come from eggs, though. Particularly Venom is said to have hatched from an egg. But these are only ones that have come from Clintar themselves. So it's unknown how exactly they were formed into an egg. But the new ones we know that reproduced in asexual ways. So many have simply break off, like a part of them will break off from the symbiote and then will become their own, usually activated by some sort of event. Not every single piece of Venom that pops up becomes the new Venom.
Activated by an event.
We'll get to some of the events, so you can
I
have some
love it.
context.
Sometimes the spoiler-free warning stuff it just ends up being meaningless.
It's happened like twice. We can't just mention
Excellent.
there's like some reproduction, like some make them in a lab, some like we'll get to a couple anyway.
Excellent.
What was next? The Though it is also claimed by the maker that the symbiotes will reproduce and make more of them to bolster their numbers when they are threatened. Don't know if that's true or not. It was a claim. The symbiote has no family structure. Most symbiotes parents and child doesn't really have a relationship. The only relationships we know between parent and child is a negative one. They all hate each other. So
Perfect.
That's all we know.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a bad family to start off in. It seems like a bad start, you know. Big Grandpappy Null was a little bit of a racist against living beings, so it's kind of a bad place to start from.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's really awkward at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Not a good vibe.
They always try to bring their new hosts home, and Null just is very not understanding. He's very bigoted. He doesn't really believe in their living hosts.
Null doesn't understand that they, them are being two beings. You know what I mean?
Why have you not drained their blood yet?
Earth is still a thing. Destroy the planet.
Yeah.
But Dad, that's Eddie's homeworld.
Every evil voice just gravitates toward Palpatine. It's unavoidable. Do it.
No.
Exactly.
Powers. So, what the fuck can these symbiotes do? These are some generic powers.
I'm gonna guess.
So, symbiotes are basically immune to all conventional weaponry. This is like bullets, hitting, stuff like that. They have enough density, they basically absorb all the vibrations, kind of flow it out. They usually can't really be damaged by that kind of stuff unless it's a very specific weapon. But stuff like, again, they have weakness to heat and fire, heat and sonic weapons. So those are their two big weaknesses. They can also help their host adapt to situations. This can include environments such as underwater or in space, allowing them to breathe, and also like prevent them, like it'll toxic out like poisonous gas, right? Mm-hmm. So basically just help their host survive. They also can heal fast and allowing the host to do so. Their form is a bunch of inorganic cells, right? They can create things. They can turn their arm into a blade. They have their pseudopods that come out and grab things, stuff like that. They can become bigger or smaller depending on what they want to do. They have full control of every cell in their body in that sense.
Okay, interesting.
Yes. Like how like some beings in like D&D can squeeze through a very small hole, you know? Because they're all like an elemental can squeeze through a little hole. It's like that. They can like funnel all their beings into one little bit and all the way through the hole.
Love that. How else are they going to fit into all my holes when they start taking over?
Yeah, I was already there.
I literally wasn't even thinking about that.
Can fit up my hole any day. Jesus, man. Had to make me say it. Had to force my hand.
Symbiotes, this is like, it also is said to be a unique Venom thing a lot of the time, but I don't know if it is. Anyway, symbiotes can also change their coloring to be able to blend in. So basically they can make a camouflage to look invisible or be able to act like normal clothing. Like Eddie will go out in just Venom, but Venom will turn to like a shirt, jacket, and pants.
Is he naked underneath Venom?
Who's to say?
There's so much about this that's bad, but it's just two creatures intertwined. It's just inescapable that there's some subtext.
Who's to say? Symbiote connection to Null. Symbiotes have his connection to Null, and his mission gives him a unique power to drain divinity from gods. So the symbiotes usually the ones that are connected to Null himself have like a power to drain. That's why there are like a lot of negative emotions associated with symbiotes. They drain that badness out. You know, we talked about before about how Null's weakened by like good emotions and doing good. So they kind of go out and do bad, and then we'll use that to suck the power. The biggest form of this is draining divinity from gods.
Jesus, okay.
So like a god will be like a god of good, and basically going, mine now. And symbiotes also are born to corrupt and feed on the worst emotions, driving their host to do Null's bidding. So this comes in for example, in the form of when Gore takes the Necro Sword, right? Mm-hmm. He kind of had a bad rap. a lot of bad shit happened to him. But like he wasn't necessarily an evil person until the sword drove him to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right.
right,
And then he
yes.
went, yeah, these gods were shit. That's true. Should I kill all gods? It's maybe a bit of a stretch, but yeah, he decided to do that, and then decided to like rain havoc on the rest of the universe.
Oh yeah, because even in the movie that we watched, that was an average movie, he wasn't that bad until the sword was like whispering to him, like, "Do it, do it."
Yeah, like in the what was it? In the comics, I believe it's very similar. It's like the only real difference in Gore's backstory in the comics, it's like his son, not his daughter, I think is the only difference. But yeah, basically very similar stuff. He doesn't have a conversation with the god, he just takes the sword, but yeah, I think. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, but basically, yeah, these they were corrupt and they have a form of corruption to be able to make you do bad things for null. So that's the symbiotes, basically. One last fun fact about general symbiotes. Symbiotes are repeatedly associated with bad smells.
Excellent. What do they smell like?
So I'll give you some examples. So vomit,
Great.
swamp water, gasoline, old
Gasoline's
wet
not a bad
laundry.
smell. Gasoline's not a bad smell. Not all the way.
Some people have like that weird enjoyment of gasoline smell. Do you know what I mean?
Hey guy, it's not healthy to sniff gasoline, guy.
No.
I passively enjoy it while I'm refueling the car. You know, it's a little interesting smell in the air. I do not advocate for smelling gasoline. Okay, this is a bit.
Honestly, these days gasoline's too expensive to. Bro, I filled my car the other day and it was like $95. Anyway, sorry.
I put $60 in the car, and then I was driving home the other day. I realized that half of it had disappeared. I'm like, I used $30 in a day.
I love having a motorbike. It's so nice. I fill up. I put $20 in it, and I don't wear it for like 2 weeks.
Oh no, I'm paying for having like a large car, but it still doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Next one, old wet laundry.
Okay, that's just a weird one.
Yeah,
That's
And,
musty.
This one's very specific. Slaughterhouse sweat.
Okay, like metallic. Ooh, that's pretty bad. I don't know where I was going with that. I thought there was some redeemable quality to it, but like it's just metallic sweat awfulness.
Cool. So now we're going to go into the symbiotes. Do you guys have Facebook up?
Yes.
I'm just going to send you a thing. I'd like you to describe my boys. Okay, hopefully it'll let me send something. If Facebook would like to register what I'm putting in there. No? Okay, doesn't want to.
Did you forget to copy it?
I'm copying it multiple times. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do it. Could you look up Venom, please?
Venom. Type into Google.
It won't let me do it.
Big tongue man. My God, he's ripped in some of these images.
Do you want the Sony Venom or the old?
Oh, you want comic Venom? We're not talking about Sony.
Oh, okay.
Look up Venom comics.
Delicious comic. He
looks a lot goofier.
Sure.
I think anything in old comics looks goofy now.
Okay.
Look at Hawkeye's outfit and tell me it does not look a bit goofy.
Oh, of course it does. Please say we can use this image, Matt. This is fantastic, and I love everything about this image.
Put that image away. That's a horrible image. Why has he got a beard with a brain on it? Put it away. And why is Spider-Man serving him to him?
There's so many images of Venom that just look weirdly sexual. And maybe that's just me, but
I think it might just be you, guy.
That's your brain. What are you doing?
there's things like, okay, the image that I'm looking at right now, to describe Venom, to go about the comics. Do you want to start?
No, you go. You take away.
He is akin to an extremely, in straight appearance, he is akin to an extremely muscular man with a form fitted to the point of being excruciatingly detailed bodysuit, including a rippling set of abs and wide chest and shoulders. And surprisingly, hey, I'm really surprised considering that the main demographic for comic books is heterosexual males, but nothing on the dick, nothing there, just plain old Barbie doll. But the particular image I'm looking at is him.
Rock hard?
Yes. But him in this particular image is him broad-chested, arms out, kind of like pressing his chest forward over a guy with a gun who looks scared and kind of whimpering under this muscular man-looking creature. I've also missed a detail about these particular thing here. He's also got a white design over his eyes, sort of Spider-Man-esque, and a big mouth full of teeth, monster mouth, big all the way back to the sides of the ears.
And a big snake tongue, apparently.
And a big-ass snake tongue.
One big thing about Venom is he has the Spider-Man logo on his chest in white.
Very true, very true.
One big thing that they do not have in the Sony movies. Because there's no Spider-Man in that universe, so
yeah, that's fair. So he hasn't bonded
which
to
is
Spider-Man.
very
yet,
strange because he kind of looks weird without it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, he also has like the image I'm looking at, his black tendril, like pseudopods coming off his back. So yeah.
I see some that he's cleaner and some where he's kind of like he's glitching out and there's bits lopping off him.
But I always
his form can change. Remember? So yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong, but like I always thought that it's the same thing. Like everything about his appearance, down to like the eye designs and everything, is because he first bonded to Spider-Man and then got pulled off Spider-Man, and that's why he like copies Spider-Man's appearance, right?
Well, created by Null, hatched on Clintar, he's said to be the 990th of his lineage. Venom bonded to Peter Parker during Secret Wars. He had many. Originally, that was the first time Venom ever approached. He wasn't called Venom at the time. That's the first time we had all the black suit Spider-Man. It has been retconned that he did have hosts before this that he did not remember at the time.
He has a genetic memory that stretches back to his ancestors in the Hive Mind, but he can't remember the guys that he had previously.
Hey,
incredible.
Someone comes up to him with a big bat and bops him on the head and goes,
exactly.
Whoops.
And he's got the little 3 Tweety birds going around.
Yeah.
His head.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whoops.
I get it.
Got a concussion, my guy. I went skiing and ran into a tree.
Who would win? Highly advanced genetic species with genetic memory. One bat.
Big bat. Big bat.
Big bat.
So big. Yeah, so that is a unique point. He had hosts before Spider-Man. That is one key thing. It's usually seen as there's also like a fun comic. It's like a spoof comic that it's not really canon, but that Deadpool got there before Spider-Man, and that's why Venom is crazy, because he attached to Deadpool for like 2 seconds, and then Deadpool put him back.
Damn.
Just a touch of spice on top.
Yeah. But yeah, so Spider-Man absorbed the Venom symbiote and attached the genome, and Venom was like, holy shit, this is a fucking great host. I love this guy. That's why he adopted the Spider-Man thing, and for the next thing, he'll be obsessed with Spider-Man from then on, right?
Fair.
And usually attaches to everyone in the Spider-Man world. So basically, yeah, he basically thought, this is one of the best beings I've ever been attached to, I've ever heard about. I'm gonna stay here. I love this guy. That's why he adapted the white spider on the front of his chest.
Yeah, because sorry. In my head, is that him interpreting the Spider-Man suit as like a pair of butterfly wings, where it's like you have to have this to find others of the species? I have to attract more of this species, so I must mimic their patterns.
I think he's just imitating him, but that's kind of funny that he's trying to mate with Spider-Man.
Exactly. I can't. This episode is cooked, but that's okay. Sexually speaking.
Later discarded by Peter, he's had many hosts. The most important or most prominent being Eddie Brock, who he was a bully in Peter's high school, and no, sorry, that's Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
I'm getting my people in.
Wouldn't want to fight me neither, Peter.
That's Flash Thompson. This is who becomes Agent Venom, I believe. So he has connected to Venom.
What? Sorry, becomes what?
Come again?
We're not getting to Agent Venom today.
Agent, not Asian Venom.
we both heard Asian Venom.
Agent Venom.
I was I know Marvel has some questionable things from their early days, but Asian Venom would take.
It's right on the nose. It's right there.
No, Agent Venom.
There are so many terrible voices going through our mind. I'm not going to air any of them.
Fuck. Oh god. Okay. So anyway. Eddie Brock is a journalist alongside Peter Parker at the Daily Bugle, who Peter doesn't like for some good reasons and depending on the story. But yeah. And he's jealous of Peter Parker and his success and how good of a cameraman he is. And that he is getting the photos because he is Spider-Man. And Peter and he's like, "How did you get those photos, you piece of shit?" Yeah. I think that's I think Peter taking photos of himself as Spider-Man is what's like corruption? I don't know.
Journalistic mispractice? Like, what are you?
Yeah, that's what exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Surely that's not right.
No, he's not a journalist. He's a photographer.
Yeah. He's also freelance and probably being paid nothing for them.
Hey, good for a kid that his age.
Fucking Jameson, hello. Work for your worth. This man has no photos of Spider-Man, and he needs photos of Spider-Man. Peter's just providing a service.
Yeah.
I want photos of Spider-Man.
That's all he needs. He eats them for power.
He just devours them. He folds them up and puts them in his mouth.
Delicious.
No, they actually make his mustache.
What?
He like cuts them up into fine little things and sticks them on his face. And oh god. So, powers. Venom is uniquely powerful among symbiotes after being bonded to Peter Parker, basically. Venom absorbed all the physical attributions of the Spider-Man powers. His strength, his speed, his wall crawling, his webs. He basically got everything. He also, the unique thing, he doesn't have the creation of like webs, because in the movies, often they create webs and they run out of webs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The comics are similar to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where they come out of his body.
Yeah.
That's honestly, it's weird that they call him Spider-Man without the webs coming out of my body. I wouldn't immediately call myself Spider-Man without webs coming out of my body, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it wouldn't be up there. Like,
I guess Peter just likes spiders. I guess, to be fair, he did get bit by a spider, but did he know that? Did he know the spider bite was what gave him his powers?
I mean, what? I feel like
I don't
it's
know.
hard to guess, but
Yeah, to be fair, in No Way Home, he says a spider bit me. So I guess he did know. Yeah. Anyway, so the webs, but the webs aren't coming out of Venom's body. He's using his inorganic material to create the webs, right? Which means one weakness of Venom is if he uses too much of it, he can weaken himself because he spreads himself out too thin. Like, these cells do regenerate over time. He makes more and more Venom, but if he weakens himself in too quickly of a time, he will be weakened.
How much Venom do you need to make a Venom? How much Venom do you need? Is there too little? Because the little bit of juice for the spider spray surely.
But
isn't
again,
enough.
we need a special event to create a new Venom guy.
Yeah,
a special event. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a special event guy.
Yeah, it shows up in my notifications. It's the daily rewards. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the what's the festival? The Night Moon Festival. What the fuck it is in World of Warcraft? Anyway, don't worry about it. I'm doing an MMO bit.
Damn it.
Okay,
One
so
time Izzy's not sitting behind us when we record at home.
Exactly.
Question comes up.
Venom also absorbed, kind of half absorbed Venom's spider sense. He didn't fully absorb it. He doesn't really have the spider sense that Peter has. Like, Peter's like connected to, it's a long story. He has a bit of spider sense, but he doesn't have like the spider sense connected to like the web of spiders in the multiverse that why Peter could have his like prestige.
The Spider Force, right?
His Spider Force shit. Like, that's why Peter's Spider Sense is so good.
We talked about this. Go back in our
Oh, yeah, we did. That's so long ago. Yeah. That's
why
why Peter's Spider Sense is so good. But he didn't get that level. He just got the physical abilities. But what he did get is the ability to bypass Spider-Man's Spider Force. He's one of the only foes, him and his descendants, because they absorbed his powers. But we'll get to that. One of the only foes that can surprise Spider-Man does not trigger his Spider Sense.
Damn.
Which makes him very dangerous.
And a massive pain in the ass.
Imagine getting so used to it, you don't have to worry about like watching because like your Spider Sense tells you if someone's coming behind you, and this one guy just fucking gets you.
If I'm remembering the Spider-Verse episode right, isn't the web like basically prophetic in a small way?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This guy's just like, I'm sneaking around under the visor of time. No one can see me. I'm so still.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Mans was created by the primordial god of the abyss, man.
Good counterpoint, actually. Never mind.
Yeah,
He's literally made
he was
from nothing.
Created by the greater god of the abyss guy. Oh my god.
I have countered your point by saying your point in a stupid voice. The ultimate argument technique.
If that ain't me to a fucking T.
Love it. I love it.
I tried it in a HR meeting the other day. It didn't work so well.
Wow, that comment was really, really irresponsible and inappropriate.
Well, why don't you tell me how your progress has been helping us enact our strategic goals?
Okay. Venom can also store objects inside of him. Basically, he
keeps coming back around.
Peter's camera, right? How's Peter going to create photos? He doesn't have Venom can go absorb, it's like he makes pockets basically. He has pockets.
Venom he can be clothes, so he has pockets.
He can create pockets.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's one of my things.
You could have just said yeah.
I mean,
he can create pockets.
He has the ability. No, but he has the ability to store items even when it's like full suit mode. So it's still not. It is literally a pocket in the definition of the word pocket.
Yes, his cells move up. He puts the camera, and the cells go back.
There's literally just a space inside him where there's a camera.
Yeah, not always a camera, but it's Venom also learned Venom learned to mimic the stuff around him, but that's also the power that we talked about earlier about just being able to camouflage. Venom also learned the ability to create venomous fangs able to cripple foes, hence the name Venom. So he's got big teeth. That's why he's got really big teeth in the images you see of him. And if he bites you, that's bad.
I don't know. Most of the symbiotes have big teeth.
Yeah, because they come from Venom.
Okay, fair enough.
But also his teeth are venomous. That's Venom. Next we're going to talk about Carnage. So Carnage, the spawn of Venom. So if you want to look up Carnage, have a Google. Carnage comics.
Carnage is spawn of
Carnage is the spawn of Venom.
Just another
as a piece of Venom left behind. It left behind in jail. It bonded with the serial killer Cletus Cassidy through a cut in his hand. Mixing with his blood and creating a new symbiote of Carnage. That's a special event. The venom went inside his hand.
So if
the special event was it went inside him?
Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
We can't escape it.
Oh god!
Jude, I described the last one. Would you like to take my boy Carnage?
I'm looking at a lot of different images, but I'm gonna pick this one. So it looks a little bit. So if Venom's the hulking bear, Carnage is the twink to Venom's bear. At least in the images that I'm looking at. It's a little bit skinnier, a little bit spindlier, a little bit smoother looking, but a certain sleekness and elegance to it. Where Venom was hulking muscles and brawn, Carnage is this like slick, smooth looking fighter, more of the agility build, I guess you could say. Still got the big long claws, still kind of just looks like Spider-Man. If anything, this one looks more like Spider-Man because it's got the build and the red suit.
I will asterisk that with the fact that the pseudopods in a lot of the images I'm looking at are a lot more prevalent. He's looking He's looking a lot stringier. The body itself is sleek, as you say, but there's a lot of shit coming off him.
He's a lot more wild and uses a lot more pseudopods. That is true. He's like replicating blood splatters. You know what I mean? Because he's often depicted as red and black, meaning a mix between blood and venom.
Spider-Man, red and black. Actually, there's white in his design, isn't there? I'm stupid. Don't worry.
Yeah. He also has big teeth like Venom.
Yeah.
So that is Carnage. Powers. So coming from Venom's own material, he's got all the powers that Venom had. We just described all those as well, including all the Spidey boosters given to a serial killer. Couldn't have a problem there, right?
No, it's fantastic for Carnage.
Yeah. Carnage is often like a more chaotic and more violent version of Venom. We thought Venom was bad, and then we met Carnage. You know what I mean? And they hate each other. They fucking hate each other. Don't like each other. Very, very toxic relationship there. But we'll get to toxic later.
Could almost see a venomous relationship.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of carnage, you know.
Oh God.
He was first. He was the first symbiote to be able to turn his body into weapons. But then Venom did learn to be able to do this power. So he could like turn his hand into a sword and chop someone. Venom also learned this power, but he didn't learn it beforehand. So Venom learned it. Carnage learned it first. He is uses a lot more spikes, a lot more like sharp weapons. Carnage's most iconic factor is he can fuse with the host's blood. So this is because of his relationship with blood when he was born. This makes him extremely hard to separate from the host, as he's literally in the bloodstream. His healing factor is also much stronger than Venom's because of this. Each individual cell of Carnage can become a sensory organ. So this is like an eye, a nose, an ear. Basically, you can turn each individual cell into a sensory organ to be able to see the world. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. Carnage can also replicate vampiric abilities, so being able to suck the blood out of people, stuff like that. So this is that like absorbing the fluids from others.
Don't all the symbiotes able to suck the blood?
I believe so, but like Venom, that's usually from their own host. I believe Carnage is shown to be able to grab onto people and then suck.
Ah, gotcha. Like as a power, as
grab
a
and suck.
yeah,
Yeah, not like bond and suck.
perfect.
Yeah.
There's less commitment needed to suck. There's something there. I feel like there's something there.
We're this close to greatness.
This close. I'll find it one day.
Carnage has also been shown the ability to be able to create offshoots of himself he can control separately. So basically be able to make a mini Carnage he can send off to do something, stuff like that. I think this ability has been like sometimes taken away. Like he can't do it, but like, I don't know. He has been shown to be able to do that. This is also an interesting thing. Are you ready for this one? He can also somehow spread his symbiotic biomass into the internet by
Pardon?
into the internet by splicing his molecules through an Ethernet cable and then traveling into hardwired computers.
I will give a pass to Wreck-It Ralph. They were using that as a metaphor. It's a bit. It's Disney. It's cartoon. I will not forgive the fact there's not anything in the Ethernet cable other than little wires. You're getting in the wires? What do you mean in the wires? There's no in. It's a solid thing. Oh, I haven't fact-checked in a while.
I think that's it, guys. We've hit our time limit. That's a great place to end it, I think. Complete madness.
I am going to end it, absolutely.
No!
Rate us. Every star you rate us is a part of your body Venom gets.
No!
Okay, what's he doing on the internet? What's he looking for? What's he sneaking around doing? Yeah, of course. That's the fucking answer.
I don't know. I actually don't know what he's done on the internet. I just know he had the ability to be able to go into the internet.
He would totally be watching some fucked up things.
Carnage would do some fucked up shit.
Hold on. I slid down in my chair for dramatic effect, and now there we go. Wasn't that a thing that all the drafted North Korean soldiers for the war got into access to the internet for the first time and all just became instant gooners?
Yeah, it was like a really recent thing.
It was. I saw a thing.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
It's like in the last couple of days that, yeah.
This is also like, I think, okay, well, not to do with that. Back to Venom and
Back
Carnage.
to Venom, dragging us back to the
Let's talk
topic.
about the Korean gooners.
No gooners. But basically, it's like similar. I don't know if you've seen or read Good Omens. I don't know if it's in both, but like where Crowley goes through the phone.
Crowley.
He goes through the phone wire, the phone network, because angels can technically do it, like be at as any size. It's like
Angels
comes
can
from the
dance
idea.
on the head of a pin. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, comes from that idea.
Okay. Sure.
But Venom is not an angel. Venom is a biomass of Carnage is a biomass of.
But also,
being.
there's a difference between going down to size and traveling along a cable, and another thing to then travel onto the internet itself, touching cloud-based particles. Because the internet's not all tubes and wires, man. You know what I mean?
Because even
Like,
if you get into the Ethernet cable, you got to figure out how to turn yourself into waves at that point.
that's what I mean. Like, if it was him
just-
using an Ethernet cable to travel from one end of a building to another, sure, cool.
If Carnage has figured out how to turn energy of matter into waves, he has teleportation abilities and also bad. No,
let-
I'm not going to
just-
get into it. Fuck it.
Just let Carnage have his free Wi-Fi, okay? He
No.
just wanted free Wi-Fi at the internet cafe. Give him the free Wi-Fi.
For sure.
So, that is Carnage. Moving on to the next one, we have Toxin. This is the more toxic relationship that we have. The spawn of Carnage, being the grand symbiote of Venom, he is the 1,000th in the lineage, which is very important for symbiotes because the 1,000th in each symbiote lineage is said to be the strongest and more dangerous version. So, Toxin has similar powers. Have you Googled Toxin?
Nope.
Haven't. I searched up Carnage comic internet, and he literally just goes through the fucking screen, so never mind. That's fine. It is what it is.
That's so good.
It's fine. He's playing a video game, and it says, Carnage logged in and ready to play, and then Carnage flies through the screen and kills someone.
That's great.
Just incredible. Just incredible. I
Is
love
he
it.
the
Never
big
mind.
green tongue dude?
Yeah, so he's like he'll be red and black and have the big green tongue.
Yep. I'm
Christmas.
seeing him.
Toxin is a bit of a mix between Venom and Carnage. That's the point. And he also has a big green tongue. He's as big and bulky as Venom, but has the red top of Carnage and a lot of offshoots like Carnage. But then
He
has
looks
like
even
legs.
more like Spider-Man, but bulk. Because he's got like the
the mix.
As well, to give a visual descriptor, his main difference from the last two is that he's closer to oh my god, Venom in appearance, I would say, but he has a very specific difference visually. No Spider-Man symbol on the chest, and also his waist is black from the waist down, red from the waist up.
I also like how it looks like they're made from different like materials, like the different beings.
Yeah, it looks like the red's kind of like slopping over the black part.
Yeah. So Toxin, kind of new into comics, relatively, has the same powers as Carnage, as that's what happens when you make a new one. I couldn't exactly find how Toxin was made. I don't know if I just have terrible looking up skills, or I haven't read the comic of Toxin's origin. But it just said he was created by Carnage, so guessing cut off a little bit, made Toxin.
yeah.
Again, Carnage does not like Toxin at all, and I think Venom trained Toxin a little bit. I don't know. There's a bunch of this relationship is very like back and forth, hating, loving kind of thing. Not much loving, mostly hating. Again, interesting for Toxin. Toxin is getting further and further away from Null because he's the second to be born on Earth. Which means he's the 1,000th of his line, so he's more power. All his powers are turned up to 11. Which often at the very start he was that powerful, but because of like things that happened to Venom and things that happened to Carnage, they're kind of on a similar level, just because upgrades they got from different sources. But originally he was supposed to be more powerful than them. But because he's distant from Null, he has more resistance to sonic and heat. So in my mind that makes sense because he's more distant from the Celestial Forge.
Okay.
Down the line a little bit, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I suppose. But then, Carnage is direct descendant of Venom, who's... Yeah, okay, sure, that checks. I'll take that.
There's not much difference from Toxin, but it's an interesting note that Toxin is more of a hero than any of the other two. He more wants to do good. Yeah, he's much less... He talks about much less like, I'm not the monster like the others. I have a partnership with my... Honestly, the Venom movies are much more like a Toxin movie, if I had to say.
Yeah, right.
Just Venom is lots more...
I'll be so 100%. It's just impossible to look at these characters and be like, seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
The character design screams, I'm a monster that wants to kill you.
I mean, he's probably killed a lot of people, to be fair. Like, I say good guy, but in relative terms, you know what I mean?
Oh, like Punisher, sure. But like still, if he's trying to do good through his own weird way.
Usually he's a
sure.
good person. Relatively.
God damn.
But yeah, that's Toxin. Not much to say about him. Move on to one last one, which is because it's an interesting case. It's kind of we're gonna just one last one. Can you please look up Anti-Venom from comics?
Anti-Venom from comics.
Anti-Venom. So Eddie Eddie Brock, after separating from Venom, volunteered at the Feast Center, or the Food Emergency Aid Shelter and Training Center. The founder, Martin Lee, alter ego of the villain, Mr. Negative, used his powers to cure Eddie's cancer, which he had at the time.
Right. Okay.
The remnants of Venom left in Eddie in his spine, that we talked about, right?
Bit of him left over, yeah.
Fused with his white blood cells that were being used to cure the cancer, the powers that Mr. Negative was using. Fused with the Venom symbiote and created a new symbiote, Anti-Venom.
Yeah, right.
It was kind of their unique power force to activate it, right? Could you please describe him? It was the reaction event, yeah. Can you describe him?
He kind of just looks like he's... Okay, where's a good one?
There is like a 2-word description of him. Color swapped Venom.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the bits that should be black are white and the bits that should be white are black.
He does have a couple of them. He's got a little bit of a Burton twist on the sides of his eyes. They kind of do a little funny curl on the side of his head.
I was going to say, a couple of the ones that I'm looking at, it looks a lot more like it's a dude wearing a suit than the other ones.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them almost look like a Moon Knight ripoff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the wild form and there's like the more refined form.
Yeah, the refined forms look a lot more like a kind of Moon Knight suit almost, but...
Yeah, almost like an Agent Venom, anti-Agent Venom.
For some godforsaken reason as well, they've decided to make his eyes and mouth red, which he's got like sort of a black mask design going on. So again,
I think that's only in that image.
Surely he can't be good. There's like 4 of them that are on my screen right now.
Surely
I think it's all the same one. Yeah.
No. There's 2 of them. There's at least 2.
Okay, so you said, surely you can't be good. That's what you said.
Surely he can't be good. I have a thing up. I can see it.
So he has all the powers of Venom, as we would assume, right? He was a new symbiote created by Venom. He's all their powers. Mm-hmm. The biggest new thing that he has, because of the unique situation he was created in, he has an amazing healing factor. This means his own regeneration factor is turned up to 12, right? He got shotgunned in the face and managed to heal it in seconds, right? That kind of like big healing. Also, he can heal injuries and cure injuries and illnesses in other people, even in extreme cases. For example, cancer. He has the ability to cure cancer.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Baby, that's what I'm talking about. That's some comic book bullshit. Let's go.
I swear to God, why is cancer still a thing in the Marvel Universe? Because so many Spider-Man villains have been able to cure cancer.
Because they can make more money selling us chemotherapy.
Or they just want to turn people into dinosaurs.
True.
That's one of my favorite memes of all time. It's like, what are you doing? You could have cured cancer. I didn't want to cure cancer. I wanted to turn people into dinosaurs.
Again, every single comic villain, just incredible goated reasoning 99% of the time. I'm just doing it because I'm a goofy little guy. Respect.
Can I share a comic frame that I've just found?
Yeah, for sure.
Given Matt's kind of alluded to the true intentions of this anti-Venom rather than Venom. Mm-hmm. So Spider-Man is like restrained against a pole with some kind of
the same thing up and
gunk that I assume is meant to be his web, but it looks like gunk.
I'll say it's really thick web.
It is very thick. I don't like it. It looks very mysterious and I don't like it. And he's like, hang out in the lair while I run some errands. And then Spider-Man says, your lair smells funky. And then Anti-Venom says, lingering meth fumes. It was a drug lab until I shut it down. See, that's me now, crime fighter.
He's perfect. I love him. He's gorgeous.
I love it.
See, Spider-Man, I'm a good guy. I stopped Jesse Eisenberg.
Hey, Anti-Venom, what happened to the guys in the meth lab? Don't ask.
I cured them from existence.
I cured his cancer and now he's not a meth lord anymore.
This is the perfect solution
Oh my
to
god!
Breaking Bad.
Holy shit, Walter White. Oh,
This would solve Breaking Bad right now.
most incredible crossover of our time. Anti-Venom crossover to Breaking Bad. What the fuck?
And now I'm gonna do to you, drug lord, what should have been done many years ago. Re-educate and rehabilitate you into society.
Get you the help you need, you know? He just says he's just really ominous but really helpful. This'll be the last you see of this life, because you're about to start a new life with help.
You know what they say, Mr. Drug Lord Man? Teach a man, give a man a fish he eats for a night, teach a man to fish he'll eat for a lifetime.
Cure a man's cancer, he lives for a lifetime, you know what I mean?
Give a man cancer, he'll live for a day.
Wait, did I say give a man cancer or give a man a fish?
Give a man a fish. We took give a man a cancer. You have
Okay, cool. I had that moment of wait.
Your finger is not in the pot.
We added cancer, don't worry. We're the cancer in this podcast. You're the fish. Also, one unique thing about Anti-Venom's healing powers is that they're so extreme that they can even cure the radiation in Spider-Man's blood, taking away his powers.
Oh.
Epic.
So that's why he's like also not always a straight up good guy and not always on Spider-Man's side.
I see.
But he's stopping meth labs, so good on you.
Wait, he has anti-radiation? What the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, I just thought about that for more than like 2 seconds.
It's called radiation sickness. He's taking away the sickness. Boom.
Is he taking away the radiation?
Yeah, both of them.
But he said he's got radiation
What are you
sickness and he's
talking
taking away the sickness, so he's just...
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he's taking away the radiation. He can
Why
cure...
hasn't Anti-Venom cleaned up Hiroshima yet?
He's stuck in New York. He can't get a flight.
He can't. That's true. He's probably on the no-fly list. I wouldn't blame him.
This guy's not on any flight. Anyway, one big win for Anti-Venom. He's the anti of normal symbiotes, right? So he's immune to both fire and sonic powers things, which is the usual weakness of most symbiotes.
Yeah.
His only known weaknesses are Mr. Negative's negative powers. And, okay, we're not getting into Mr. Negative. We don't have time.
Yeah.
And a special poison created by Norman Osborn.
Nice.
He's also been known, if he overuses healing powers, he can be weakened and killed.
Sure.
So if he heals too many people, he can die.
Yeah. That's fair.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Is there any... There's a bunch of Venoms that all have powers that are like, if you use this too much, dead. Can't work. Venom's weak to using his spider powers too much. Anti-Venom's weak to using his anti-venom powers too much. All of them... Is it just like a limitation of them just only having themselves to work with?
Dude, they run out of spell slots, my guy.
That's also fair.
Sometimes you run out of mana. Sometimes you only got a limited amount of mana. Dude. Also, like, I can only run a limited amount of kilometers. I'm going to get tired. You know what I mean? It's like that, you know? You get tired. You wear out. Also, one thing I kind of missed, which is kind of funny, but also, this healing also goes crazy. It can also cure things like addiction, as he cures a girl's heroin addiction.
Sure. Fuck it.
But does that also imply that it can cure, like, a gambling addiction?
He needs to talk to
I'm
Venom.
going to say yes.
Like, he needs to talk to me. That's true. Like, that's a crazy thing, right? That's. Then you get into the question of what's an illness? Is death an illness? Is death a condition that can be healed?
I think it's more the lack of a condition, which being neurons.
But cancer's not like a. Cancer is like not like a normal illness. It's a living thing in your body. That's
Correct.
why it's so
and you
hard
should
to
turn
cure.
it off.
Yeah.
That's killing.
Having the ability to cure. Yeah, correct.
That's killing. That's
the power most of these creatures have.
Anti-Venom, the power of curing cancer. How do you do it? I kill.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. That's exactly what we need.
But yeah, if I kill the host, the cancer dies. Wait,
Precision
no. He just snaps their neck. Their cancer's cured. No more cancer.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. So that is the symbiotes. If we wanted to have more time, there's a lot of others. There's So many new ones. There's like Riot, Misery, Scorn, Agony.
Wow.
There's like the symbiote dragons you can look into a little bit. There's
Thank you.
far more greater than yours.
Exactly. Oh,
Far more greater than your.
far more greater than yours. He truly is the himbo that is meant to be that part.
Is that not the line? Painful?
No, far more painful than yours.
Oh, well, God. Who cares? You know what? You're Agony. The only other one I kind of want to mention because it's funny. Eventuality is a symbiote that, you know how we started all this talking about the King in Black at the start of at the end of the 6th universe. Between the worlds, there was the King in Black formed, right? The title, that was the title given to him when he came out of the abyss. Eventually, Eddie Brock will become the King in Black.
Oh?
This journalist from New York will become the King in Black because there is a thing with Venom where all the different parts of Eddie Brock will split off, and eventually at the end of the universe, they'll all come together once and Eddie takes on the title of King in Black and become Eventuality, which is the ultimate symbiote.
Very cool. Holy shit.
And
The different parts of it.
the different possibilities, different universe versions and different timelines of Eddie Brock will all become one.
Eddie Brock's multiverse infinite set collapses into a god called Eventuality.
Yes. And it exists in the time after the universe and will probably eventually become the King in Black of the next universe. So there is a kind of like a continuous a new cycle. You know, we started talking about these cycles, a new thing is born in each one. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a part of the new cycle. There will be a King in Black will come out of the void every time.
Nice.
Yeah. So, that is Null, that's the symbiotes, and that's that.
That's the symbiotes, that's the guys, that's the gang.
Do we have any questions before we want to get out of here?
How wet are the symbiotes? They always look super wet. I never got a true answer on this.
They're moist.
Okay, acceptable.
I think they're just like, it's aerodynamic. Like it's like I mean, to be fair, they're like cells attached to each other. They're probably like a liquid. Like they don't have like a general form.
In the
right?
way it's been described to me, there's no reason that Venom is not just fleshy. In which case, you touch it, but then also it's one consistent material made of a bunch of little
I don't think it'd be
fangs.
flesh. I think it's like a glossy black sludge. It's like how like a cube from D&D. That's kind of shiny. That's usually like a jelly kind of thing, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Well, it's a very dense jelly. That's what Venom is, a very dense jelly.
Excellent. I vibe with that because you touch jelly and it's not like, oh, that's wet, but it's like it's not dry either.
And it's very shiny.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it. I fuck with that.
I think, is jelly technically a liquid?
I'm not going into this.
So, anyway, well, yeah, that is Venom. What would you rate this podcast, Guy?
You don't have a 5-star rating?
I will. Just you go first.
The number of stars that you give us is how wet your fucking Venom is. How wet your symbiote is. How wet your symbiote is.
God. The number of stars you rate us is the number of generations your symbiote has gone through, and now you have all those powers.
The number of stars you give us is the number of pseudopods you can create in your Venom form.
Most of them could do more than that, can't they?
Way more than 5.
But also, you're a podcast listener. You're lucky to get 5. Be thankful for what you're given.
Hey, what number of stars you rate is how many minutes you get to be with Venom, okay? 5 minutes. That's all the time you can pay for, you know?
Yeah, the number of stars you give us is the number of minutes of the Venom movie you get to watch the new one. That's it. Then it's bedtime.
The number of stars you rate us is the amount of time you get to spend talking to Tom Hardy one-on-one.
Ooh.
Only if he does the Bane voice the entire time.
God damn it.
Oh, but what was under the mask?
Have we got any new Patreons this week, my guy?
So, yes, Patreons. Thank you so much to our lovely lawkeepers, our prestige lawkeepers, Josh from Maine and Shadow. Thank you so much to our novice lawkeepers, Dan Dubs, Jacob from Norway, Josh Gow, loading name, Luke Newcomb, Mike, Tiani Wilson, Uranian Games, and our newest lawkeeper,
Our new gamer.
Blitz Bandit. Thank you, Blitz
Excellent.
Bandit.
Goated.
And I was talking to Blitz Bandit this week, which is fun. He is a man from Nebraska.
I'm sure he has good taste. Let's
He
go.
works in a metal shop, which is kind of sick.
Fuck yeah.
And studying welding, which is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I think we actually no. I've deduced it. I was like, it's something to do with like people who like tools and listening to our podcast. And it's like, oh, that's podcast. That's when your hands and eyes are busy, but your ears aren't doing anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah. I also, and big win for me, buddy boys. He likes Keys to the Kingdom, baby.
I retract my previous statement about him having good taste.
Yeah.
But also, one interesting thing, he found us from TikTok. So, and if you're listening to this podcast and you didn't find us from TikTok, go check out our TikTok and Instagram where we do highlights and stuff like that.
Check out YouTube as well. There's all sorts of good throaty goaty goodness. But for this evening, I believe I say a good night.
And when Venom finds his way into your crevices and gives you a nasty fright, and he'll whisper in your ear hole, "Good morning, Eddie."
Even if your name's not Eddie, he'll just whisper "Good morning, Eddie."
He's got time.
And as all the Venom symbiotes and the universe itself comes to an end, and the King in Black is born once again, we say goodbye.
Can you imagine getting a symbiote that's like had like a really powerful previous owner? They're like, my previous owner was a king on kings. And you're like, I've got fucking work tomorrow, my guy. I gotta go.
Dude, I'm watching the new season of Arcane, eating a pizza that's 3 days old, and then we're going to work tomorrow. I don't know what you want from
this.
me.
Imagine you're sitting down coding and just like, it's like, you need to do something more with your life. It's like, I know. What are you, my mom?
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Thank you for listening to Living by the Law. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave a review, tell your friends, and if you're feeling extra generous, become an official lawkeeper by joining our Patreon today. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Living by the Law. All links are in the description, and thank you in advance. We have been, and always will be, living by the law. Thank you for your company, and good night.